Will you lose money selling your home this fall? Because it smells bad? Because it smells like smoke? And that is our topic for today on renovation of the nose. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, we'd love for you to click the subscribe button below. You're going to get lots of tips and tricks today to get your house smelling fresh and clean, easily and inexpensively, no matter what your realtor says. So do hit subscribe down at the bottom. We're glad you're here. And do you know that listing a house that smells like cigarette smoke can take your resale value down by 29%? 29%, that's a lot of money. If it's a $200,000 house, that's down to $142,000. And that's how we got started in this OdorXit business, by buying houses inexpensive because there was something wrong with them. And cigarette smoke is not something everybody wants to live in or know how to get rid of. So they're buying it cheap because they think they can fix it. 29%. And if you got cat pee throughout, that number's even lower, because I've bought them really cheap with lots of cat pee. I never figured out the percentage, but it can be done. So 11 million people in the U.S. are still smokers. Do you think they smoke in the house? Even if you smoke on the back porch, that smoke filters into your house, and at least there's some smoke smell in the kitchen or whatever that porch is, whatever room that porch is off of your house. You're going to be able to get rid of that smoke smell? If that's all you've got in there, maybe you can paint over it. But we tell you, do not paint. You know what smells? It's a gas. It's a gas coming off that tar and nicotine, that deadly tar and nicotine, that gray, brown, yellowish brown, disgusting looking tar and nicotine. It's a gas that smells. And gas is the precursor to water. And you can't paint water. You can't paint a gas. It will come back. It does not go away. It just gets encapsulated with a layer or 2 or 5 of paint, of sealer. I went into an apartment one time. They had put 3 coats of primer and 2 coats of paint on the walls, trying to get rid of the smoke smell. They only called me because it didn't work. Now what do? We put all this paint on there. This is what we always know how to do. We still haven't gotten rid of the smell. How do I get rid of the smell? Well, I used our product, AQM, Air Quality Manager. I had to put it in there for 3 to 4 months. I had to keep replacing the product because it took so long to get through that paint to get to that tar and nicotine. What this does is actually break down that tar and nicotine, changes its composition, and makes it stop smelling. It worked, but it took 3 to 4 times as much product and 3 to 4 times as long as it normally would if you never would have put a coat of paint on there and just gotten rid of the smell with the OdorXit AQM before you paint. So never paint over odors. You can't, it doesn't really get rid of them. It encapsulates them, and they don't smell for a while, for a short period of time. So the Realtor.com is where I got my number of lowering your resale value 29%. So it came from an expert, 29% from Realtor.com. Do you know what else Realtor.com says? You must replace your ductwork, your heating and air system, your hot water heater, your refrigerator, your stove, because it's got all this tar and nicotine on there, and there's no way to get it off and get rid of the smell. That's not true. I mean, that could be very expensive, replacing your air conditioner. Depends on how big your house is. If it's this $2,000 house, buy it, we'll fix it. A $200,000 house, you know, it's probably got a $4,000 air conditioner system in there. Well, probably more than that because I just replaced one in $1,000. Oh, geez, in a 1,000 square foot house is probably worth $80,000, and I spent $4,000 on it. Sorry, guys. So somebody else wants me. They can't have me because you have me right now. So that's an expensive way to get rid of cigarette smoke smell. And all the ductwork, oh my gosh, half of it is behind the walls. You got to tear all that out. Don't let them tell you that. Getting rid of smoke smell is easy with OdorXit AQM. It's going to take you, depending on the size of your house, $250, maybe $500. I can't imagine, but you never know. You get this packet. Get this packet that comes in a pouch. Actually, it comes like this. You pull this pouch out. There's instructions here to read, but I'm going to tell you how to do it. You open up this packet. There's a white pouch in here. You put the white pouch back into here. When it's out in the air and humidity in the room and the house, or you put a little paper towel with moisture behind there to make your own humidity, it starts to create a gas. The gas is very safe when you follow the directions. Sticking your head in this packet that makes a lot of AQM in a closet, staying there, no, don't do that. Putting it in the rest of your house, that's perfectly fine. You can be in the room while it's working. Just keep a fan on so it circulates the gas it creates from floor to floor because that stuff stinks. You want to wear gloves because it's poisonous. You don't want to get it on your skin, and it's poisonous. So, and we have another product, our Moms. No, I think I gave that away. Here it is. Our Moms, and it has the same gas, the chlorine dioxide gas that the AQM creates, and you can spray it. You can spray it on a ceiling because it's really hard to get up and wash your ceiling, but it will make that tar and nicotine drip. So you want to be sure there's a drop cloth. You want to be sure you have a respirator on and your mouth is closed because it will drip in your mouth and it's gross. Now, I can't say I've ever experienced that. I have had it drip on my head, and that's gross enough. So close your mouth, get a respirator, protect your nose, your face, your eyes. Get safety glasses if you don't already wear glasses. You don't want that stuff dripping on your face. But it will get rid of that cigarette smoke smell. I promise. We guarantee it. You follow our instructions, yes, it will. So wash first, AQM second. I wash, rinse, AQM. That's all. If it's ceiling, wash, well, you're kind of washing with the Moms. And especially if it's a stucco ceiling, those little points, that little rough stuff, then that Moms is much better. It's probably going to break some of those tips off depending on how long I'm looking up at my stucco ceiling. Depending on how long those ridges are, some of them might come off, especially if you tried to wash it or brush it. So, but AQM Moms will get rid of that smoke smell for you. You will not have to replace your refrigerator, your stove, any of those things. It will get rid of that smell, and you can use, there's a couple different cleaners out there. TheOriginalOrange.com will get that off. Probably some of Nature's, Simple Green might get it off. I think it will. I've heard it will. I've never used it myself. If it's walls, try sodium phosphate and warm water, and then rinse when you're done. That will get enough of that off on the walls that the AQM will then be able to get rid of the rest of the smell. And you're going to sell your house for that $200,000, maybe $210,000 in this market. You never know. But don't be afraid of having to replace all your interior appliances and ductwork where the air goes through. You don't have to, I promise. It will save you so much money. If you're recommending to your clients to paint to get rid of that smell, stop. If you're recommending to your clients, if you're a realtor, to paint to get rid of cat urine smell, stop. You can't, it doesn't do what you think it's going to do. We had a lady, this is a couple years ago, she had just bought this house. It was just redone. It had cathedral ceilings, and she just fell in love. But when she'd go, she lived by herself. When she would come home from work each night, would be the first one into her new apartment, the first thing she would smell when she opened that door was a big whiff of cigarette smoke. Couldn't understand where it was coming from. Found us on the internet, called up, asked questions. She put 2 of these larger packs of AQM in her area where that cathedral ceiling is. These get rated by square footage or square footage of surface area or cubic feet. So floors, walls, ceiling, furniture in there, you're counting that as well. But she put it on a fan, on a box fan that sat on books, so it raised it up off the floor. She put the packet behind that on the floor, raised the fan up off the floor. So as the packet produced the gas, the fan grabbed that gas and shot it up to circulate through that whole room to get to everywhere with that cathedral ceiling. She needed the big packet because of the high ceilings, and it needed to just get everywhere. And it took about 20 days. It took a while because it had painted, but they only did 1 coat of paint. Thank goodness for her. And it got rid of that smell. And I talked to her 6 months later, and it was still gone. So that's the kind of things that it will do. It will take longer sometimes to get through that paint, but it will get rid of that smell. So don't list your house, don't paint your house until you get rid of your smells. I can't emphasize that enough. And if you've got pet smells, same thing. Don't paint, don't replace things until you get rid of that smell. Use your OdorXit AQM. AQM is also good for lots of other things. Mold, mildew, mothball smell. You got smoke in your car. You use it the same way in your car. You open up everything in your car, your glove compartment, your fuse box, your console, so that the gas this creates can get everywhere in that car. If you're doing a car, you want the smaller size AQM because you just don't need as much in that 4 by 8 foot little area. And you want to vacuum it out. You want to take your foot carpeting thingies and stand them on edge so that the gas can get on all sides of that. Remember, they've had a chance 5 years, 1 year, 10 years to smoke in that car. That smoke is infiltrated everywhere. And you need to allow the gas time and access to get to everywhere in your car to get rid of all that smoke. So obviously, mostly of it's going to be on the headliner up above your head. So you might want to vacuum that first to get any residue there might be on there. Even take some Dawn dishwashing detergent and warm water and just kind of gently wipe it because it's going to take off particles, and my guess is going to be pretty brown when you're done. Even washing the inside of your windshield. You probably don't have to do that when you're done with the AQM. Wipe it. It'll be clean. It'll be clean. And your car, truck, sports car will smell fresh and clean just by using one little small packet of AQM. In the car, we recommend doing it overnight. It's a small area. You can't really give up your car for 20 to 30 days and park it and let it work. And you don't need to. It's such a small area. This fan will work. You put a little bit more water in the packet for it to expel all that gas overnight, and it will be clean in the morning. Your house, you really want the packets, both of them, to produce that gas for 20 to 30 days. It needs to get to all the areas where the smoke is as well, and you have just such a bigger area. It's going to take longer for it to find the hiding places. Well, let's say I smoked in my office, and I've had this tape machine for 5 years that I smoked in my office. Smoke has been able to get down into these little crevices and hiding places. Well, the same thing with the gas, the chlorine dioxide gas from those packets. It needs time to find those same areas. It could be talking about a bookshelf. It could be talking about personal items on the shelf, your lampshades. It needs to get everywhere that smoke has had time to get and creating that smell. So you need the 20 to 30 days to have it, allow it time to find the smoke and oxidize it, make the smell go away and never come back. And that, of course, is our guarantee for all of our odor products, 100% guaranteed to eliminate your odor or your money back. We're assuming you really don't want your money back. You want to get rid of the smell. So we have our 800 number that you can call us to get one-on-one information. We have a little talk to button on our website, which is that obnoxious noise you heard go off before that I ignored somebody for you guys, that you can click on there, and 60% of the time I answer it. Sometimes I just can't get to it, just like now. I am the one that answers it, but we can text back and forth your question, my answers, and make sure you're successful. You can send us emails at info@odorxit.com. You can send us emails at deb@odorxit.com, and we will answer your questions and make sure that you get rid of your odor. That's our promise to you, is that 100% guarantee, and we want your satisfaction, because without you, we don't have a business. So we really want you to be happy. We want you to list your house and get better than full price because it smells fresh and clean. So if you've got questions, you're ready to list your house for resale, and you want full price, use OdorXit first. You will be amazed. I promise. And if you've got any questions, we are at 877-ODOR-EXIT, 877-636-7948. And that's all I got on smoke smells for today. If you got something smoky, well, that's not true. Let me continue. It works on fire smoke too. So if you buying a house that had a smoke smell, kitchen fire, your house had a kitchen fire, what you want to do is, again, clean that residue off first. Put a couple packets of AQM throughout your house, whatever the size of your house, and it will get rid of that smell permanently. And then paint. I can't stress enough, do it before you paint. It's much, much easier. Had a neighbor whose kitchen caught on fire, and she threw water on the fire, and that made it worse. It was a grease fire. And she used OdorXit, and she's redone her house and pulled down a wall, and man, is it beautiful, and it smells great. So works for all kinds of fire and smoke. And again, mold and mildew and mothball smell and floods, car cigarette smoke, and so much more. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really tuning out right now. So thank you so much for being here. Again, if you're first time with us, please hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you come back. But don't lose money on the sale of your house because of smells. Get OdorXit. And if you're not sure, call us and ask us questions. You have a great day and stay safe.